went to Switzerland. He's got Dan Jordan on bass and William Shepoloff on the drums, and Jan Johansson on piano. But anyway, man, little background stuff, little history on that. That's because we can use that as it's because it's for educational and historic purposes only, man. Kind of like the Don King fights were, bro. Those were historic, man. And last night it gave me that feeling, bro. I felt like it was five or six heavyweight fights on the card, man. Excuse me one second there, Mr. Pads. I got to get right a little bit here. I don't think I did one show straight the other day, man. The one I did about the BMR. Kind of weird, man. But I like the Toka 2 getting me in the right flavor of mind over here. But yeah, bro, that Kaladze fight was something, man. That was the Victor Forst fight. I wrote the names down of the fight so I wouldn't forget them. But everything I'm going to tell you is coming out of my memory. What little of it is here, man. But anyway, yes, sir, man. We're gonna talk about that fight for sure. You know it, D-Ray. I'm blazing up, bro. That's what I do, man. I got my legal card to make sure there's no qualms about it. I smoke my marijuana because my doctor knows that I have stage 4 arthritis in my shoulders, man. I can't even shave my head properly. I have to have the old lady clip it in the back for me. But anyway, bro, you know it, man. I blaze up over here with my brothers and my sisters. We talk about boxing, man. One of the things I wanted to do when I had my own channel was, do my thing over here in boxing and bongs, man. That they go hand in hand with me. The first fight I saw, I got stoned to go see it. I'm sure. No, not on television. That's right. That was a little. It was right around the same time though, because when I started, the first fight that I get into on when I came home on a Friday night, it was a George Cavallo and a Jerry Quarry fight from Madison Square Garden. And it was back in, it was 1970 or 1969. And that's just when I started playing with the weed too. So, man, that's been a constant in my life since I started getting hairs on my chinny chin chin. Derek Clark, bro, salute to you, man. Thanks for coming in. But I'm going to tell you how Bruce Goes saw it last night, man. The heavyweight division, that was Don King. That was Don King all the way from the 80s throughout the 90s. But anyway, man, the 80s, that was when Don King owned the heavyweight division. He was promoting every fighter. I think Jerry Cooney was the only one who wouldn't sign with Don King. But Jerry got his big fight, and life went on. But anyway, man, Don King would occasionally stage these heavyweight extravaganza cards, like last night was, but it was not an extravaganza card, but bro, when you've got heavyweights in the top 20 and they're fighting each other, dude, that's to me that was great. And that was on the first of the year, the first fights we saw, 2022. Kwee, thank you for coming in, Kwee, man. Always a pleasure to see you, man. You always elevate my platform when you stop in, and it's good to see you, man. Happy New Year. I hope your New Year's was going well. I subbed to the new channel. I can't wait to see it, man. Salute to you, Kwee. But let's see, man. My train of thought. I'm gonna have to do another Toka 2 to get me back what I was talking about before with the Don King, man. Yeah, Don King would have these heavyweight extravaganzas, or he'd have he'd run a fight with, oh man, one of the best Don King cards I can remember. There were 2 heavyweight title fights on there, but dig this, the undercard, it was from 4 different locations too. This is the way Don King did things. He didn't do things he didn't just put a fight on television. He went to 4 different locales. He had the main event fighters fighting in front of their home crowds. He was highlighting them. The first fight was Sugar Ray Leonard against Davey Boy Green, man, out of England. It was Sugar Ray Leonard's first defense, I believe, after beating Duran in the rematch. if you ever Google Sugar Ray Leonard's picture perfect left hook, you'll see the one he hit Davy Boy Green with, man. I thought he killed him. I say that a lot, but Sugar Ray Leonard hit him with a picture perfect left hook, knocked him cold. Cypress Hill, thanks for coming in, my brother. And that was only the first fight. This is a Monday night on free television. The second fight, we went to I think we went to Indianapolis to Marvin Johnson, who was the WBA light heavyweight champion. He fought Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, formerly Eddie Gregory, and it was another upset, man. Eddie Gregory took the title from Marvin Johnson. And it was like, wow, knocked him out. Great. And Marvin Johnson, tough guy, fought Matthew Saad Mohammed, fought everybody, man. You know, go back and look at some of these heavyweight fights of late heavyweight fights and heavyweight fights. But anyway, man, this is the first two fights. And then we went to Memphis, Tennessee, I believe it was to John Tate. He was the WBA heavyweight champion at the time. And he fought Mike Hercules Weaver. Evander Holyfield, brother, I'm honored. Oh, did he fight that? He fought Green before Duran? Okay, man. That was his first defense after Benitez. Then, thanks, Mr. Pads. The names and times sometimes, you know, all these details. That's why I like having guys like you out there to keep an eye on me. You know, Scrapbook comes in here, man. I make a mistake. If he doesn't jump on me, I know he's sitting home laughing, man. But anyway, bro. Okay, that fight, man. Mike Weaver against John Tate. John Tate is piecing up Weaver throughout the fight. You know, Weaver would get some good. Mike Weaver, he had fought Larry Holmes, got beat in the 12th round, but Mike Weaver didn't take boxing seriously till after he got beat by Larry Holmes. And Mike Weaver was a physical specimen. Looked like he was pumping steroids in his ass. The guy never even lifted a weight, never mind steroids. You could tell because he had three brothers who fought, the Weaver triplets, Lloyd, Floyd, and Troy. And they were an attraction at the time, but they looked they were built just like their big brother Mike. Anyway, man, Mike Weaver's fighting John Tate, and it's not looking good, man. You know, John Tate's showcasing in front of his hometown, and it's into the 15th round, man. You know, Weaver, he's throwing low shots, and he's not out of the fight. But he's not in the fight either. It looked like a victory for John Tate, and John Tate's also they're setting up a John Tate Larry Holmes fight. Larry Holmes was the next person on the card. But anyway, Mike Weaver landed a fucking left uppercut, left hook from hell in the 15th round. He knocked John Tate cold. John Tate was kissing the mat, his ass. He was on his knees, ass up, bro. I mean, it was a wow moment, man. I was sitting around watching it with the guys, man, on a Monday night. We were toking, we were drinking Budweisers, we were passing the tequila, and man, fucking John Tate just got knocked out cold. It was unbelievable. It was historic. Andrew Charles, my brother, salute, man. Derek Clark, thank you for stopping in, man. Donnie Lalonde just got remembered, yeah, bro. But anyway, man, you know, getting back to this card, after Mike Weaver knocked out John Tate, now Mike Weaver's the WBA heavyweight champion, and Larry Holmes was WBC at the time. The IBF was I don't believe either Larry had the IBF or it wasn't really a thing back then. But anyway, man, Larry Holmes fought in the main event against Leroy Jones out of Denver, Colorado, who'd beaten Weaver. You know, he was a name. He might have even been a mandatory, but it was anticlimactic after that. Larry Holmes picked him apart with his jab. I don't know if the fight was stopped or if it went a decision. But I mean, after watching Mike Weaver and after watching Sugar Ray Leonard, dude, my point is, man, let me get a little bit of my water, my H2O, the fluid of life, man. I drink water all the time. Today, all I put in my body yet, because I was a bad boy over the holidays, bro. I got to practice what I preach, man. I had, starting from Christmas Day, I went to my sister. She made a ham. And not just a ham, but I mean, we had sweet potatoes and the string bean casserole with the onions in there. You know, the French's onions. And there was a chocolate cake there. It was the best chocolate cake I ever had, bro. I mean, this thing was, you took it out of the package. It was sold, from a bakery, and it was individually sliced even. And the cake was put together, but you took the slices out. They were paper wrapped. I mean, this shit was melt in your mouth to die for. It was like 100 calories every time I put a forkful in my mouth, but it would just explode, dude. It had chocolate ganache and chocolate mousse, and oh god, this was the chocolate cake from hell. If anybody is a chocolate addict, if you want to email me, it's brucegoes@gmail. I'll go back and find the name of it for you. But anyway, man, we didn't spend that for the whole week. I haven't been really sharp nutritionally. Probably sharper than and most people out there, because even when I go off the wagon, I say the wagon, even when I go off my nutritional plan, which I eat very cleanly every day, pretty much every day. If I eat something that's that's not good for me, that's processed, high sodium, saturated fat, things like that. My body doesn't like it, so I don't eat it. I stick to clean food. But anyway, I went off that for the holidays. I ate cookies when people gave them to me. A woman across the street, she knocks on the door every Christmas. I see her, just a hi bye kind of a thing. But every year, I forget that. She knocks on the door with a plate full of these cookies and chocolate peanut brittle and shit she makes. And I forget about it. People don't just pop in and knock on the door. My dog went nuts. My wife didn't know. My wife thought I dropped something in here because she hears the boom at the door. I think I was even doing a live at the time. But anyway, man, the platter was devoured. Fistiana, salute, man. Thank you for coming in, man. Yeah, Bruce Goes Boxing, Jazz, and more with Fistiana Fights in here, man. Salute, man. Quickly's in here too. Damn, it's almost like half. I got the half of the old liquor spot, 2/3 of the old originals over here, bro. Thanks for coming in, man. I was talking about. In fact, I didn't even start, man. I've been rambling on for the last 15 minutes about Don King. The great fights he used to put on, man. And last night reminded me of a Don King fight, man. It definitely was an event for me, bro. It was in Florida on the 1st of January. The Hard Rock Hotel, the Hard Rock Cafe, the Guitar Hotel. I never saw that guitar before. It comes out of the ground. It looks like a fucking rocket ship coming out, man. And it was all lit up at night. But everybody was there too. There was a who's who. I mean, never mind the announcers, bro. We had Sean. We had Sean and Lennox, bro. I mean, shit. I mean, they were doing the announcement. And Ray Flores, man, he's a character. I like Ray Flores. And look at the people that were there, man. You had Riddick Bowe there. You had David Morrell. I had to write these names down. You had David Morrell there. You had Canelo there. You had Ugas there. You had Evander Holyfield there. I mean, it was a star-studded event, man. Let's see, Mr. Pads. I'm gonna read these comments so you don't get away from me here, and try to keep my train of thought. Bruce, what was the last pay-per-view you paid for? Must have been in the 90s. I'm going to tell you, the last pay-per-view that I was always lucky. I had a black box when they started. When most fights they were on good, even decent fights. They were on HBO. And I grew up through the Saturday afternoons, the Wide World of Sports. And when I had cable, some dude said, you got to get this black box. I'm like, nah. He's like, oh, let me hook it up for you. Anyway, $50. I never paid for any pay-per-view since WrestleMania 2. That was like 1986, I believe. And that black box worked all through the 90s. Then they went from the digital to the to a different format. I can't even remember. I can't even think of the crazy names. But anyway, after that, the internet came, and I always had very technically savvy friends. Being older cats. I didn't know the people who were learning about the internet. I knew the teachers who were teaching them. So anyway, man, the only pay-per-view that I ever paid for. No, actually, I paid for some when I went to people's houses and they had to. But at my digs, it was Thomas Hearns, Iran Barkley 2. Because they were switching from analog to digital at the time. My black box wasn't working. But anyway, I was supposed to exchange my whole cable box to get the pay-per-view. I ended up not the pay-per-view came in all all I could do was listen to it. I didn't want to call them up and tell them anything because I had the black box rigged up. I didn't want any cable technicians here. But that's the last pay-per-view that I paid for. After that, man, I had my black box rearranged so it dissected all the fights up until, well, I'm going to say about 2000. And then the internet came in, and I learned how to get all the fights. I learned how to stream all the fights. And I'm not going to pay. I want to see all boxing, and I'm not going to pay for something that I can get free, man. If my brother was fighting, I said I'd stream it, and I'd take him and his wife out to dinner. I'm not going to pay for fights. Quickly. We on to bigger and better things this year. We have some things in the works, my Bruscos. Yes, we do, Kui. Yes, we do, man. I'll tell you, man, just the boxing itself, man. The card last night, the card started off. It started off with a, I wrote the names down here, man. There were undefeated heavyweights out of Cuba. One was 5-0, one was 6-0, which is something you just don't see anymore, man. Two undefeated prospects going head to head, and these guys were Cuba's finest. I mean, there was one guy's name was Bruzan, and the other guy's name was Perro. And Perro, he was the darker skinned fighter, and he looked like Mike Tyson, man. He was just a dog. He had beaten Sanchez 5 times in the amateurs in Cuba, and man, I mean, they were both amateur stars. It was an 8-round fight, both their first scheduled 8-round fights, and to me, it was the first fight of 2022, and man, what a way to start the year, bro! I just said, wow, this is historic for me because I don't really remember any fights on New Year, I don't remember any New Year's that started off like that with a card like that. And I'm gonna say, it was a pay-per-view, but for me, I streamed it. I had it in 4G. It came in perfectly. It stopped once. I think it was at the end of the Christian Hammer fight. Who did Christian Hammer and Sanchez? It stopped at the end of it, but it only stopped for a second. So, man, this pay-per-view, these guys are nuts thinking that we're going to buy, we're going to shell out money. So, I heard some guys, oh, it's only $40. Yeah, $40 this week, $40 next week, $80 the next week, bro. Bruce Ghost doesn't have that kind of dough to shell out. Uncle Phil, thank you for coming in. Tony Bartlett, my brother, man. Peace to you, man. Peace to everybody out there. But after that, it was supposedly the heavyweight extravaganza, all heavyweight card, and to me, the standout. I mean, it was, dude. I love heavyweight boxing, so there wasn't a dull moment in it for me. But the standout fight of the night, bro, Frank Martin, Romero Duno. Frank Martin, man, another fighter who's you've heard about the guy. I've heard rumors about him. He's trained by Derek James and his brother. He's something to watch. I watched him last night, and this kid Duno that he fought, he had already been knocked out by Ryan Garcia. Excuse me, a little bit of water here, man. Alberto, brother, salute to you, man. No, I didn't, Alberto, bro, man. I can't start talking wrestling now, bro. I'm in the middle of a boxing conversation. But dude, thanks for telling me about that. I'm definitely gonna go back and watch that, man. Nah, Brock Lesnar, tough motherfucker. I think Mad Chad always says, "Who do you want going in an alley with you in a fight?" I think, man, Brock Lesnar, bro. First of all, nobody would get near you just looking at the character. But then if he gets inside and has to take you down, put you in a chokehold, man, fucking rip your arm off. Yeah, Brock Lesnar is that guy. Excuse me for a second, man. I gotta blow the schnoz. I don't want to do it in the air in case my dollar store Kleenex don't come through. So give me a bit. They came through. Came through nicely. Okay, man. Yeah, Frank Martin, somebody to watch, a lightweight. I mean, he had everything going for him. He knocked out Romero Dono very, very, very nicely. It was a TKO in the 4th round. There were 2 knockdowns. the standout on an all heavyweight card. So keep your eye on Frank Martin, man. A lightweight to watch. He kind of, I think he made all the four queens kind of take turn their heads a little bit and say, "Whoa, we got another guy coming in here." Because right now, I think he beat half of those characters out there that are waving belts around. But anyway, man, after that there was a long break in the card. And I think it should have gone. It could have gone back to back. I think they should have kept it going. Maybe there was probably a card that went on because they couldn't have kept the live audience at bay for this long. I bopped around. I went around on like YouTube, baby. We go support everybody. Give them a thumbs up. Give them a shout out. Give them a salute, whatever it may be. But that's what we do on here, man. I appreciate people doing it over here. I know, man. I know what it's like. You're not gonna sit with me from beginning to end. Maybe you are. Maybe most of the times you aren't because that's the way I am. I go to a lot of shows. Sometimes I'll sit there for the whole show, but if it keeps me interested, I'm trying to do that for you, man. I wish I could do some tricks over here, man. But anyway, man, all I can do is play a little bit of jazz in the back and talk about boxing today. This is what we're doing. Am I the only one that thought the referee was right to stop the Kaladze fight, bro? Yeah, that was a knockdown, drag out brawl, my brother. That was a fight where I thought Faust was going to win that fight handedly. I really hadn't paid much attention to either of these guys. I've seen them briefly. Kaladze comes back from a knockdown, knocks down Faust. I mean, this was like a fucking elevator fight. They're going up, they're going down. And every time each one of them got hit, it looked like they were hurt. Their eyes are rolling in the back of the head. I mean, damn, yeah, Mr. Paz. 4 knockdowns in 2 rounds, and you're telling me the heavyweight division is boring, bro? I mean, come on. This is the second fight, the second heavyweight fight, the beginning of the pay-per-view card. And, dude, look at this fight. This is like fucking Ron Lyle and fucking George Foreman, bro. I mean, this, I was like, my wife was in her room. She had to close the door because I was screaming, man. This was entertainment at its finest in the heavyweight division, man. This is something that just doesn't happen. But a couple of times in a lifetime, maybe. But yeah, exactly, Uncle Phil. The heavyweight division does well. The boxing does well. That was. It's just too bad that was a pay-per-view because I didn't talk to anybody this morning. I haven't mentioned anything to anybody about the fight. Somebody want to blast that in Dawson out there for me, please? I'm honored that I get a troll bot in here, but my wrenches will take care of you, bro. But anyway, man. Love that jazz. Love the toka too, man. Love talking boxing. What could be better? Oh yeah. The fight we were just talking about, man. The Kaladze fight. Kaladze and Faust. Kaladze was knocked down. The final time of the second round. The referee stopped the fight. I don't know if it should have been stopped or if it shouldn't have been stopped. One of those things, man. The referee was right there, but even the ringside announcers. I mean, Joe Goosen, Ray Flores. They've been in fighters' faces. They know what hurt is all about. And hey, man, they gave the referee the benefit of the doubt. And the fight was stopped. Kaladze didn't like it, bro. He pushed the ref, and he was pissed, man. It was some fans didn't like it, but like Alberto says out there, man. Let me see, where is it here? No. See, the referee could have been right. He might have not been right. I mean, look at when Charles Martin was stuck in the ropes, bro. Should the fight have been stopped there? So I mean, it's so discretionary. I couldn't be a referee, man. I couldn't do it, man. Hey, Tay Brown, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. But refereeing, man, some people say, "Oh, I could be." I thought about becoming a referee at one time in my life, and I started watching. I started going to fights and watching live fights, even amateur fights, bro. I couldn't do it, man. I'd prematurely stop fights. So you know what you're saying about there. Scrapbook, my brother. Happy New Year to you, man. Peace, man. Good to see you out here. Mad Chad, my brother. Thank you, man. Thanks for coming in. But I'm I I've been here for a half hour, and I haven't even gotten to the co-mains or the main events. I'm talking about the heavyweight card we saw last night, and man, that it pumped me up. BK, salute to you, my brother. It pumped me up because first of all, it was on New Year's Day. New Year's Day, bro. I used to watch football all the time, but the football doesn't really entertain me anymore. College football. So boxing entertains me. I'll watch wrestling, but I don't watch it like I used to. Major Key, bro. Salute to you, my brother. And boxing is what I watch right now, man. I love boxing. If I'm not watching boxing, I'm usually on some nutritional channel or digging on some jazz or some other kind of music but anyway, man, as far as sports go, I loves me my boxing. And yesterday, New Year's Day, there wasn't much boxing around, so I was bouncing around, man. I've been even catching movies lately. There's sites on there where you can get movies that are, they're running in a theater yesterday, and they're on the internet today. Anybody wants any of those, man? You shoot me an e, and I'll drop them to you because they're available. People say streaming, blah blah. If they're illegal, why doesn't the internet shut these sites down? These sites have been up for years, man. And anyway, bro, after that we saw the Gerald Washington fight, man. Gerald Washington and a guy named the Medicine, I think his name was, bro. I wrote it down, but I can't even read my writing. That's how I am, man. Let me wet my whistle one more time over here. But Gerald Washington, he looked really, really good for the first few rounds. It was amazing. I mean, it was the old Gerald Washington. But Father Time, like everything else, bro. I mean, it caught up with him. It just made Gerald Washington. We saw what he was. He was out of gas, and this kid that he was fighting, man, the Medicine. He was a tough kid. I think he was out of Turkey, European champion. Just a brawler, man. Nothing special, but he was tough. He had his mind made up. He was coming forward. My brother G5, bro. Salute to you, man. When you stop in, I have to stop what I'm doing and take a hit on my token too. So I'm gonna do that if you don't mind, and see if I can remember where I left off, so I can finish this little expo I was going to do on the fights I saw last night, man. Like I said, I wanted to come on right after the fights while it was fresh on my mind, because, bro, I was amping right through the fights. It was taking me back, bro. It was like I'm only in America. I'm looking at Don King waving those flags, stepping over his former fighter to the fighter who won, who's his new thing, man. That's the way Don King was, man. Don King was he was loyal to black, white, nah. Don King was loyal to the green. Don King was a character, Oh, I'm your brother. Come sign with me. And oh man, I'm the only one that knows the white man. You come sign. Oh man, Don King was funny, man. Boxing needs somebody like Don King. Maybe we have people like Don King, but he was a once in a lifetime character. Anyway, man, that last night just kind of made me think of those old Don King. The hell with it, man. Put them out there. Showcase these fighters. Showcase these heavyweights. And man, that's what Don King did. He had a heavyweight tournament when he was promoting Mike Tyson. He knew Mike Tyson was going to go through it, but and back then it was after Larry Holmes was coming off of his supremacy. he'd been beaten by Michael Spinks, and Michael Spinks wasn't going to mess around with any of these other heavyweights. Michael Spinks was going for that rematch with Larry Holmes, and same with Larry Holmes. He was pretty much through with the heavyweights, with the active kids in the heavyweight division. But they were the belts that were floating around, and Don King controlled all three of them at the time. And dude, he had well, obviously Mike Tyson's waiting in the wings. Mike Tyson's on all the undercards, and Mike Tyson's the future. But the heavyweight division, it's being passed around with like Trevor Berbick and Mike Weaver and Pinklin Thomas and Tony Tubbs and Tony Tucker. I mean, there were so many of them. Bone Crusher Smith. Oh man, if some of you guys can jar up my memories in there. But anyway, man, Don King controlled them all, and Greg Page and Tim Wood, and Don King had them fighting each other, man, on HBO. Almost, it seemed like it was once a week, and these titles are being Trick Nolte, my brother, man. Good to see you in here, man. Damn, Trick Nolte is the man. Trick Nolte. I'm gonna stop what I'm doing, and I want to give a special shout out to Trick Nolte, because we see a lot of boxes on the internet, a lot of interviews. We see some of the fighters that damn. You know something, man? 99% of those fighters come from Trick Nolte, because Trick Nolte's mission in life, he goes and he resurrects these fighters who that if not for hardcore people like Trick Nolte, they'd be forgotten, man. And I want to shout out Trick Nolte for keeping these fighters alive, not their memories, keeping the actual fighters, man, getting them onto platforms like this. Fighters who had no clue that that there were people out there who loved and respected what they did. And man, when we can see them, we can talk to them. And bro, Trick Nolte's the man. Trick Nolte is the man, bro. But you've been here for over 30 minutes and I haven't even acknowledged me. Oh, Trick, man, I'm sorry about that, brother. It's funky when you're running the show, because I'm keeping track of YouTube and over there, and bro, my eyes aren't what they used to be, man. I had cataracts in the left one, the right one can't even fucking see. But I'm sorry, Trick Nolte, man. You're my brother, bro. You're one of the guys. I don't only talk to you on fucking shout out you. I'll give you a fucking phone call, man. I ever slight you, bro. You know how to get in touch with me, man. You let me know, man. I'll stop the show in the middle. I'll answer your call, bro. And Chain with Ice, man, thanks for being out there, man. But listen, I'm digging on this Stan Getz in the background, man. Stan Getz, just the way he blew into a saxophone, it's not a he just flowing. I mean, just a. And Stan Getz played with everybody, man. Chick Corea, Tony Williams, Stanley Clark. Dude, I've got this album back there. It's called the Montreux Jazz Summit. I'm gonna play this album and do a show on this someday. This is Stan Getz, and it's gonna be 25 of the top jazz musicians. Every one of these guys could front their own band. And they got together in 1977 and put out an album called Montreux Jazz Summit. And man, it just made me realize how limited I am. This is like, I mean, I live a half hour away from the Newport Jazz Festival, and I don't think there's ever, in I don't know how many 100 years the Jazz Festival's been going on, but I don't think there's ever been a concert like this Montreux Jazz Summit, where they just put together all these superstars and formed one band. And it's a couple of hours. It came out in 2 vinyl discs, Montreux Volume 1 and Volume 2. I had them both. I wore them out. I used to put them on, and I'd have to get up and change the disc back in the day when the turntable was over, and I'd be in such a trance. I'd be, the music would get me so funkified, and I'd have my Toka 2 back then, man. The Toka 2 is been ever present. But anyway, man, Stan Getz is on the Montreux Summit, and I think he had just gotten out of back surgery, and all these guys, man, they all saw each other. It was like a homecoming, it was like a meet and greet. I mean, all these guys, they all tour 52 weeks a year, and they got together for this Montreux Jazz Summit. And Stan Getz did some liner notes on there. He said Dexter Gordon gave him a big hug, and he had just gotten out of back surgery, bro. You know, you'd have to love the jazz masters to to dig that. But I mean, anybody can dig that, bro. You know, you see somebody you haven't seen in years, and they give you a big hug. Ow, damn. But anyway, man, that's we're listening to Stan Getz in the background, and Stan's a boxing fan. Don't let anybody tell you he's not, bro. All jazz and boxing, they go hand in hand. But anywho, man, that the Gerald Washington fight. Gerald Washington was the referee stopped it in the eighth round. Gerald Washington was just getting pounded, man. He didn't have any defense going. It was to the point where experience became old age overnight, man. It was like that. I really didn't expect anything less. In the beginning, when I was seeing Gerald Washington teeing off with the combinations, we knew that was going to stop in the fourth round, and it did basically. I mean, it was as expected. But what's really messing me up in these fights that I don't like, man. These different gloves that they're wearing. I mean, one guy's got a Rhea's glove on, the other guy's got a rival glove. It's like, what the fuck, man? Tim Moosey, salute to you, my brother. Especially with all this controversy with Glovegate, with everything going, why don't they wear the same gloves, bro? I mean, you go back and look at the fights. They both wore the orange Everlast gloves. I know there's all sponsorships and the business of boxing and all this other bullshit and everything else, but damn, man. I mean, it looks like they got different weapons. It looks like the gladiators. One's got the battle axe and one's got the pitchfork and the net. I mean, damn. This is a uniform sport. Get those gloves uniform, man. Get an agreement. Put on the Everlast. Put on the same gloves. You can interchange them with each other. There should be no questioning that. This is combat sports. We want it on an even keel. What is one guy wearing these blue gloves with stars on? The other guy's wearing gold gloves. Damn. I mean, it just doesn't look right, man. My bro Scrapbook, you can appreciate Stan Getz. I'm glad, man. I'm glad you do, man. Because when I dug this music out, bro, I was thinking about you, man. Because I know all your videos, man. And shout out to Scrapbook. Scrapbook puts out real boxing videos. I sit here and I get stoned and I bullshit you about a fight I saw last night. Scrapbook, man. Scrapbook puts out some real shit, man. Sub to Scrapbook, man. I know you don't even have to drop your link because I know you can go click it. You just drag your mouse over here, man. You can click it on the right hand side, and it says it'll say go to channel. The first thing it says, and then go to the channel, man. Sub to Scrapbook Boxing because Scrapbook. He's the guy who showed me how jazz and boxing. I can't even give you credit for that, Scrapbook, because long before I met you, bro, jazz and boxing, man, they were my two loves, man. So two of my loves, man. There's a few in there, but you kind of showed me I'm not weird, bro. Some of us love boxing and jazz, and they go hand in hand, man. And Mr. Pads is another one, bro. The first time I saw Mr. Pads out there, he started talking about jazz, and like I said, man, I've got over 3,000 jazz albums on vinyl behind me, and bro, I wanted to give them away. I was going to give them away to my brother Nate Campbell. Everybody knows Nate Campbell out there, man. Nate's a character, man. You're not going to get a smile out of Nate. Nate doesn't have a good word to say about anybody, man. But that's like Larry Holmes. But once you talk to him, you know what's going on. Anyway, I was going to send Nate my albums because I don't want them anymore, man. I don't need them anymore. I got everything I want to hear on the internet. I put my earbuds in when I go for a walk in the morning. And hang on a sec here. Do you have any famous posters of the jazz greats in Harlem? I don't, Scrapbook. I was when I had my heaviest time in jazz. I was roaming around. I really didn't collect much memorabilia. I might have some tickets and stubs, but I had instruments. I gave my instruments away because I just kind of I realized how limited I was when I was hanging around with the jazz people, and I had the albums. I was a collector of albums. I would go buy 3 or 4 albums, 3 or 4 vinyls a week, and that was my what I escaped in. If I wasn't going to see a jazz show, I'd stay home. A bottle of Jack Daniels, a bag of weed, and I'd put the jazz on. Then I get into doing the lines of coke, and it became like crazy. But man, jazz, it wasn't something that I really collected except for the albums. It was mostly just the music in my head, and just seeing these artists, man. When I was living in Boston, I was living near the Boston Conservatory and in Berkeley, and bro, the musicians, just the teachers there. Ron Carter was giving a class at Berkeley, bro, and I could go in back and sit in, man, off the streets because I knew the jazz cats up there, and they said, oh, it was like something I'd go pay a ticket for to see Ron Carter just talk about some jazz history with people that are paying, the students out there. But man, there was, it was the time where these guys, if they needed some cash, they'd say, let's get a trio together, and they could go to a bar and just play anything, man. A good jazz musician, they don't have to. They might need music in front of them. They're so sophisticated, and they know jazz, they know blues, they know 16 bar, 18 bar. Give me something in the key of B minor, and all of a sudden they'll just get on some riff, and then they'll get into a classic jazz tune. And I mean, these guys can. I mean, listen to Stan Getz. You think these guys practice much? This is practice right here. But regardless thereof, bro. The Manzi stopped Gerald Washington. Gerald Washington, I think we've seen the last of him. The Manzi, he could possibly become one of these guys we see on the zone fighting on the undercards and shit because he a very active, probably a very popular fighter in Europe. And hey, man, heavyweights are heavyweights. You're as good as your last fight. And that was that fight. The referee stopped that one in the 8th round. And then, bro, then the card was getting interesting. Then we saw the Rice Coffee fight. That was the fight that I was really looking forward to on the whole card, the rematch, man. I really thought that Jonathan Rice was going to come in there in the shape of his life, man. He just came off a big win. Tim Moosey, did I shout you out, bro? I hope I did, man. If not, I'm shouting you out now, my brother. Tim Moosey, the nephew of the great Bobby Chacon, man. He told me that the first time he was in here, man. Bobby Chacon, Scrapbook Boxing. Scrapbook Boxing's probably done downloads. He's probably done specials on Bobby Chacon. But man, if you want to talk to somebody who knows Bobby Chacon, I don't know if he's ever met his great uncle, but man. That's blood up there. That's blood up there, bro. Speaking of blood, man, before I forget, I saw in my notifications, Blood's got his Marvin Hagler document out today, man. His documentary. And as soon as I get off here, I'm going to go to that. I wanted to go to that as soon as I saw it, but I scheduled this last night. I told you, bro, but it was on so late. The fights were on so late. I just wasn't refreshed. I wasn't ready to get on and do a live like I am now, man. Now I can. I'm on here spitting out an hour, no problem, bro. I got that 6.5 hours that I need, man. And it's funny too. I go to bed. I can't just shut the light off and go to sleep. I watch TV for that last hour of my day. I usually watch it the first hour of my day and the last hour of my day. The only time I watch regular television. But last night I put CNN on and they had the fucking the 80s special. And I usually put it on for a half hour and put the timer on. Last night was an hour. I watched the whole thing. I fell asleep before it was over, but. It went back to MTV, the birth of MTV, all the crazy stuff in the 80s, man. How MTV didn't want to have black music. It's not they didn't want black music, but they only wanted rock and roll. And Michael Jackson was the pioneer. MCA Records said if you don't have Michael Jackson on there, you can't have any of our artists on there. And dude, Michael Jackson, fuck the moonwalk, bro. 1980s, man, dude. That was the 1980s, and the Philharmonic. Oh yeah, Scrapbook, man. Scrapbook knows his music. He was playing. He was playing Nora Jones the other day, and man, I mean, shit, man. Scrapbook's repertoire in music probably only matches his repertoire in boxing. So see, this is a riff here that a lot of jazz people use because it's a basic 4/4 bar jazz riff, and you can get off on solos, and you can go everywhere with this as long as you keep the beat. You got a good drummer keeping time. You got a good bass player giving you a good beat to play, and bro, a good jazz musician, a good horn man, a good guitarist, a good piano player. Go anywhere with this all night long, and they'll know just when to stop. They'll know when to cut off and let the other cat solo. But man, this is why I like this stuff because you can just dig on it. Bitches Brew. Bitches Brewing in a Silent Way. Mr. Pads, the first album I bought from Miles Davis was In a Silent Way. Everybody's telling me the music I'm listening to is saying, oh, Miles Davis. But see, I was associating Miles with the old school. I was listening to, the classic quartets with with John Coltrane, when Miles was playing with him and when he was playing with Wayne Shorter and Herbie Hancock and Ron Carter and Tony Williams back in the acoustic days, But then I listened to In a Silent Way. We had John McLaughlin on there, bro. Max Headroom. Trick Nolte was a child of the 80s. He was rocking in the 80s. He knows it, bro. I was a child of the 70s, man. 80s I was so cool in because, man, I was already the man going into the 80s. It wasn't my awakening. But Max Headroom. I see some cats on the internet right now. They try a little Max Headroom effect. I don't know if they're trying it or if they're just getting it out. If it's just happening. But anyway, man. Yeah, I definitely dug that. I definitely dug the. I got a small table here. I got to put my water next to my Tokatu and glass don't mix in the fun anyway. But this is my living room over here. I got to give it to my wife, man. She took my boxing junk out, man. She put it on the wall for me. I say junk. I don't mean junk. It's memorabilia. It's stuff I used to have in my bedroom and. She framed a couple of magazines, just something to give the appearance that I'm a boxing fan. I'm a little more than a casual, and I appreciate all you guys coming in here, man. I know sometimes you gotta bite the bullet to be seen with Bruce Goes, but hey, man, I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate you giving me a shout out, giving me a thumbs up, man. Once again, let's talk about rice and coffee, man. We're in the middle of that, and we took a little dash down memory lane. Let's get back to the present over here, man. Rice and coffee. I thought Jonathan Rice had the opportunity to come back from, to come back from a victory and to really shine, to actually say, man, there was no doubt, man. There's no doubt. This kid was a up and comer, not in my class, bro. I'm a veteran over here, man. I'm the man. I'm 280. He came in 284 pounds, bro. That you could tell right there. That was some jiggly pounds on there. You're talking to a guy who traces people's body fat, but the wrestling women. All right, Trick Nolte, man, you're my brother. I'm gonna break my train of thought here. Bruce Goes, out of all the 80s wrestling women, the valet, the managers, who did you like the best? The 80s women, man. I'm gonna say Wendy Rector, man. Wendy Rector, just she came on there with Cyndi Lauper, kicked ass, man. MTV was involved. David Wolf, it was fucking wild, bro. Born in 73, Trick Nolte, my brother. I was banging in 73. I was just realizing that the girls were something more to just go have a soda and a slice of pizza with back then, bro. 73. I got my first apartment in 73, man. My dad died in 73. I kind of became a man in 73, bro. Shout out to Trick Nolte, man. 73, bro. But anyway, man, what was I talking about? I was talking about the Jonathan Rice and the Michael Coffey fight, the rematch, where we were really supposed to see. We were supposed to see what was going on. If Michael Coffey was the real deal. I mean, he started boxing late. Both of these guys, they're in their mid to early to mid 30s. But I was expecting Jonathan Rice to come out there and make a statement saying, "Bro, I'm the man. I'm not that journeyman anymore. Take note of me, man. I'm kicking some ass." I thought he was going to do the same that he did the first fight, but he didn't. He didn't do it, man. He came out there and he was jabbing. He was landing more punches, but Michael Coffey was determined in this fight, man. In fact, I saw him make a stand when he got hit with a combination. Dude, he looked like Ray Mercer. He was just standing there. He must have taken a half dozen punches squarely on the face. And he's like, you ain't going to hurt me. Just trying to come forward. Jonathan Rice just was not in the shape he was in the first fight. If he was, it would have been a different fight. I think he would have taken Michael Coffey out of there. Instead it went to a unanimous decision. But Rice busted up Jonathan Coffey's face. I mean, his face he had a gash under his eye. His left eye was swollen shut. It was a good beatdown, but it could have been an outstanding beatdown. I mean, it like you said, man, it sounds like Starbucks meets Uncle Ben's. Bro, people had big plans for Michael Coffey. He was going to come on fast. He was a good story. He was a veteran coming out of Iraq. And we thought he had the name going, but he just ran into a fighter who'd been around, who had a jab, who was big like these fighters are out there today. But he kind of showed that maybe this boxing game isn't for him, man. Maybe those GI benefits can give him something else, man. So that fight it went to decision. It was a unanimous decision, I believe. I thought it was Jonathan Rice. I'm sorry, man. Coffee and rice. It's almost like I'm waiting on table here. Would you like some coffee or some rice? Trick Note, you got that one right, bro, man. No pun intended there, but puns intended. But it was, to me, it was going to be the highlight of the night. That's the fight I was looking forward to most on the card. But it was a letdown. But it was heavyweight boxing, man. Free for me and anybody else who's smart enough to know how to fucking stream a fight. Where if you don't know how to do that now, shoot me an email. I'll send you the links I have. But I have this old fashioned computer on my desktop. It's linked to my television set. So, bro, it's beautiful. God's been good to me, man. And it's not illegal. If it was illegal, the cable company would have stopped me from doing it. FCC would have struck these sites down. They're still out there. They're still cool. I'm going to use these dollar store Kleenex and give my nose a honk. Forgive me, everyone here, man. Don't need to do that online on my TV show, as my aunt likes to call it. But anyway, man, the next fight we saw was Frank Sanchez and Christian Hammer. Christian Hammer, a late sub for Negron, man. But Negron tested positive. I heard he tested positive. I didn't know. I wasn't sure if it was positive for PEDs, but I found out it was positive for COVID. So anyway, man, I hope he doesn't get sick. I hope he gets well. But Camilo Negron, I don't even remember his name. I've never seen him fight before. The only time I really heard of him was when they had the comebacks from. They had the rumors of Wilder making a comeback last summer, and they mentioned Negron as his chosen opponent, and it was a joke out there. Somebody had a tweet of Michael Behringer. They took the tweet, but it wasn't a real Michael Behringer. It was a fake troll Michael Behringer. Vince Williams, bro, thanks for coming in here, man. Salute to you, my brother. As a matter of fact, I'm on YouTube over here, so I can tighten you up, man. Add moderator. Hey, that was easy enough, bro. I like to do that to everybody that comes over here that I know, man, because that way nobody's gonna time you out. And this is, I don't even want to have to worry about that shit. Now, if any of those bots come in here, you guys can nail them. Trick Nolte, man, I haven't blew you up yet, my brother. You were the first one, man. In fact, I even sent you an info if you wanted to come on here today and share with me. So if you go check your email, bro, there's a link in there if you're not doing anything, bro. Before I end this out, the boxing historian, Brian, salute to you, brother. Great site, man. This is a driven man. Anybody wants to go see some good boxing shit, man, and you want to see somebody who doesn't take any shit, he takes things personally, go see Brian, the boxing historian out there, man. Go sub to my brother, man. Very, very entertaining site. And that's what all this is, man. It's entertainment. Boxing is where it's at. Boxing is the ultimate entertainment. We're branches of that, man. You know, we come on here, we share our opinion. Salute my brother Peter Van Ox, man. You know, Peter Van Ox, he's been shouting me out from day one, man. You know, I heard him on one show too, man. I'm like, dude, you know, you got to come on my show one of these days, because you know this is such a cool family we have on here, bro. And you know, I don't care if you're feuding with this guy, if you're feuding with it, I don't give a fuck, man. You can come over to Bruce Goes as long as you behave yourself and don't start feuding with each other over here, man. You know, and if you do, keep it civil, man. You know, you can argue, you can go back and forth. I don't care if you want to come on. I'll drop a link. You can come on here. But you know, the thing about it is, man, this is where boxing meets jazz and wrestling and nutrition and health and fine reefer. And you know, if anything else, anything more than that, bro, I don't have time, because I'm gonna have enough time covering those subjects, man. I thought I could get on here maybe once a week, but man, you know, a lot of people like wrestling. A lot of people like to come on here and like to talk about the old school wrestling, bro. And I can do that for a couple of hours, bro. I've been to over 100 wrestling matches live. I've partied with wrestlers. I was the waiter at fucking I wasn't the waiter. My buddy was the waiter, but when the wrestlers would come to Holiday Inn, he'd give me a call. Hey, Chief, they're down here, man. Come down. I go down there, dude. That they fucking party like you would not believe, before a match, after a match. And it was, you know, it was booze, it was reefer. It wasn't back in the days where there were hard drugs, man. It was cool. But anyway, man, this is what I like about being on YouTube, man. You know, I hate to be on when somebody else is having the show. I get kind of conscious about that. But then I thought about it. I said, damn. I mean, shit. We bounce around. Everybody's having a show one time or another on here, man. You know, there really is no dead time. I'm not the kind of a guy that's up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And even when we are up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I see Major Key, I see H Money having these fucking open panels. I see Black and Brown. Fuck, man. There's no downtime on here, bro. You know, you're lucky if you get on, you can throw a stream in there. People will watch it. They want to play it back, they can do that, man. And that's what I'm doing right now. You know, it's noontime, man. 12:02 over here in Bristol, Rhode Island. It's pea soup out there. I usually can look out and get a nice view of the bay. If it was a few months back, there'd be boats going by my house, man. Right now, it's nothing. I can't see a thing out there. It's pea soup. I'm in the middle of a cloud. It's been like that for a couple of days out here. I guess I know what you cats talk about in England. You know, bloody pea soup over here. It's been like that around here, man. But you know the way that we fucked up Mother Nature, bro. We're paying for this, bro. It's 47 degrees on January 2nd. I don't have a fire going. I have my heat set on 69. It's not even kicking on, bro. This is not normal shit, man. You know, this is not normal. I got a forsythia bush in my yard. It's one of these plants. You see them on the side of the highway all the time. They're the yellow flowers. It's like the first of the spring. And I've already seen a couple of them that have been tricked, and they spit the yellow flowers out already. And that's not right, man. You know, I think it's screwing up a lot of the wildlife, man. You know, they should be hibernating. They should be slowing down. But you know, we mess with Mother Nature, and I think it's coming back. Look at the tornadoes we just had in down south in Georgia and in Kentucky, man. And look at the wildfires, and the volcano we had at that island that just wiped out the island. They said they're not gonna be able to build there for another 10 years because of the volcanic ash, dude. Man, you know, I'm almost fortunate that I'm an old man. You know, I've kind of lived most of my life, and you know, I always kind of honored the earth ever since I was brought to the realization that we can't throw it into water anymore, bro. It's not going to wash out. You know, I've always had on my my personal list of things, man. One of the few sins that we can commit. You know, there are a few of them, but I'm going to say one of the few is to litter our earth out here. You know, pollute Mother Nature. You know, whether it be us just throwing down a cigarette butt, or the corporations, spitting out the sulfuric fumes out into the atmosphere, bro. I mean, damn, we're all part of that. We can all do a little bit. Maybe it's too late. I don't know, man. But I don't do it. I live on the shore, and there was a guy. I don't throw out there, but I'm not like a guardian. I'll pick up shit sometimes, but most of the time, man, where am I gonna put it in my pocket and stuff? It's kind of fucked up. And I go by some yards that almost look like town dumps, and it's fucked up. And dude, I don't know, man. To me, it's a personal sin against God if you pollute the earth, if you litter. People aren't going to see you do it, maybe, but the higher power sees what's going on, and that's the way I look at it, bro. I mean, that's I try to I'm trying to become a better person for the rest of my life, and I also I don't litter and I don't pollute, and take that for what it may be, bro. But anyway, man. Let's move on with this fight. Frank Sanchez against Christian Hammer. Christian Hammer coming in as a last-minute substitute for Carmelo Negron. I mean, Christian Hammer, we've seen him fight before. You've seen him fight Tyson Fury. We've seen him fight a Jago. I don't know if it was a Jago, but I've seen him fight on undercards and on main events and on the zone cards. He's a ready fighter. He's the kind of a guy where, what's your job? I'm a boxer. I'm not gonna. He can call the factory and say, I'm not going to be there for 6 weeks. I'm going to go train. He didn't have 6 weeks. He had 4 days. But anyway, he came in and he didn't get knocked out, man. Christian Hammer's a tough fucking guy, bro. I mean, he reminds me of a fighter from the old day. The guy's name was Scott Ledoux. Scrapbook will know who I'm talking about, man. And anybody out there who remembers boxing in the 70s and the 80s, man. There was a guy from Minnesota, man, a white guy, Scott Ledoux. He was a hockey player, but he was tough as nails, and he had that same style as Christian Hammer. He came forward, he just threw overhand rights. He went to the body. He was tough. He hit you with a headbutt. I mean, he was a veteran, bro. He fought Larry Holmes. He fought everybody. He fought Mike Weaver. Man, I saw Scott Ledoux. He fought Ken Norton. What a fight with Ken Norton, bro. Man, Scott Ledoux, man, shout out to him. But that looks like Christian Hammer reincarnated. Fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. Might not win. Probably won't. I saw Christian Hammer had 8 losses before the fight last night. But, man, that boxing needs people like Christian Hammer that are always ready to come up and take charge, bro. And that's what Christian Hammer did, man. He came on and he did his thing, bro. He fucking he hung in there. He didn't make it boring, man. To me, heavyweights, they're not boring. And I remember seeing Tim Witherspoon do the same thing with Greg Page. I mean, granted, these were fighters I was looking forward to fight. It was for a vacant title too. It was for Larry Holmes relinquished the title instead of fighting Greg Page. Don King had his mini tournament, and at the end it was Witherspoon and Page. It was a nondescript fight. Witherspoon won his first title there, but it's heavyweight boxing, bro. I love heavyweight boxing. I stone me, bro. I love heavyweight boxing, and that's what we had last night. We had heavyweight boxing. Then we went to the main event, man. We had Luis Ortiz, man. Luis Ortiz, the boogeyman. You say what you want, but people don't want to fight Luis Ortiz, and I can see why. And the thing is, man, oh man, Charles Martin. He was revigorated, bro. He was in fighting shape. He had the attitude. He had age going. He had the height going. He was boxing beautifully. He knocked down Luis Ortiz. Dude, I think he knocked him down with a jab. He hit him on the forehead. And regardless, Luis Ortiz went down. And fucking Charles the Prince Martin was looking fucking good, bro. I'm saying this is something, man. Charles Martin's gonna do it, and I saw David Ortiz looking old before my eyes. I saw those knees doing funny things, bro. We don't know how old Luis Ortiz is. He's Cuban, and he had that classic Cuban style, arcing hooks to the body. wide right hands, but yet he's a classic boxer. He can come inside and he can jab you, but he just was a little slow. And I'm saying right here, his experience has become old age. Nobody beats Father Time. It's a cliche. Everybody says it, but it's happening right before my eyes. And I can see Ortiz's family crying at ringside, man. Their dad's getting knocked down. He's getting punched around. I thought we had seen that. I thought David Ortiz was done. And then out of nowhere, David Ortiz starts landing. Charles Martin starts to slow down. David Ortiz hurt him. He nailed him with a fucking, I don't know how many punches it was. Charles Martin's arm was caught in the ropes. It was like it was almost like a Benny Kid parrot and fucking, an Emo Griffith fucking situation, bro. He could have fucking destroyed. Luis Ortiz could have destroyed Charles Martin at that point, but I think Luis Ortiz he wasn't 100, and maybe in his mind he didn't want to do it, bro. What was the point? The referee I thought was going to stop the fight then, but he went there and Martin pointed out my arm is caught. It was a Three Stooges kind of a thing. His arm was caught in the ropes, like when Curly was a boxer and his arm he's trying to throw the punches, it was fucking caught in there. It was like wrestlers would do that too. But anyway, man, it was done. I've never seen it before with a boxer. I'm sure I have, but I can't really remember when. And Martin got that hand stuck in the ropes, and like Uncle Phil saying out there, man, the referee got it out, and he let the fight continue. And Charles Martin was in no condition to continue. He was out on his feet. He was fucking out. He was in another building, bro. I mean, you could have interviewed him, and he would have said, yeah, vote for Donald Trump. And but anyway, man, he was not there. The referee let the fight continue. Luis Ortiz just took care of business, man. The fight was over. I don't know where Luis Ortiz goes from here. And the fight was over, and Charles Martin was just getting his senses back, and he didn't understand why the fight was stopped. And he goes to Luis Ortiz to say something, and Luis Ortiz doesn't understand English very well, or maybe he does, I don't know, but I guess he understood when he said, "This is bullshit." Oh, what the fuck? Boom! He pushes Charles Martin. And there was almost a situation in the ring, man. You know, everything we've seen before, it all comes full circle. This is heavyweight boxing. Emotions run high, and we saw Eddie Reynoso in there. We saw some of the cream of the crop in there last night, bro. I mean, we saw some of the biggest names in boxing at ringside. It was a great night for boxing. Where does Luis Ortiz go right now? People are saying, oh, he should fight. So many names out there. I heard so many names being mentioned. I don't know where he goes, man. I say give him a big fight. Let him make some money. People are mentioning his daughter out there. He's trying to help his daughter. What's more notable than that? His daughter was going to get her thumb amputated. He said, bro, he was going to get his thumb amputated too, man. Oh, that just chokes me up for a second, man. Champ Ross, salute to you, brother. Yeah, that did trick. That looked like an old school wrestling. But you know what I'm going to do, man? I'm going to drop a link out there. If anybody wants to come out here and wish Bruce Goes a happy New Year, man, I'm going to do that right now. We can talk about the fights last night. We can talk about what you did last night. We can talk about anything, man. It's New Year. It's a new year. It's a new beginning. I'm going to drop it in here. I've just kind of learned how to do this. We paste it in there. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. Just took care of that. Thank you. Go back here. Go back here. Put that in there. I think I hit this. Enter. There we go. So I can invite you to come up into Bruce Goes' house and say hello to the OG and I'm not fuck that OG shit. I'm so tired of that, man. I'm saying it myself. I'm just a fucking character who's gained a few years on the calendar, bro. I just turned 67 the other day, bro. I'm still kicking ass, man. Any of you guys want to come up to Rhode Island, bro? I get the gloves right here, bro. those suckers haven't been laced up since the fucking 80s, man. We'll put them on, man. I think I can take a few more tokes on that toke or two, get these shoulders loosened up, man. I'm only kidding, man. I'm only kidding, man. Nothing but nothing but mad love from Bruce and Goes these days, man. I'm gonna put that out there. If anybody wants to come up here, and I'll give you a minute or two. We can listen to some Stan Getz in the background. We can talk about those fights. We can talk about Don King fights. Yeah, we can talk about the fight you're having with your old lady. We can talk about anything, man. We can talk about jazz. We can talk about reefer. We can talk about professional wrestling. Alex Alberto, my brother, a true wrestling fan, a true boxing fan. I don't know how you have the time to watch the wrestling and to keep. I guess you have to tape them and make sure which one's more important to you. I don't know, man. I just don't have that technology. I kind of guess I do if I went and screwed around with the stuff here. But Vince Williams, what'd you say was facts up there, bro? I know Vince Williams is a man that knows the shit out there. I think I've been on a few panels with him before. The ropes may have saved his life. Oh, possibly. But yeah, Ortiz, man, he had him going there. He definitely could have taken advantage. He could have created a tragedy because when we saw look who's out there, man. I got another bot out there. One of you guys want to nail him, please? I understand that's a Russian or South Korean porn site that takes information. So don't anybody ever go over there, click it, man. Unless you want to, bro. The internet is free. Go where the fuck you want to go. Just make sure you have enough money to back up if you put any information in there. They're very sneaky out here, from what I understand. Old school wrestling from 80s and 90s was the best, bro. Yeah, you know that, man. Like I was saying earlier, man. I've been to so many wrestling matches live. Excuse me, man. I don't know if you heard that, but I did. I used to go to wrestling matches. Shit, man. You know, back at the Rhode Island Auditorium, the roads on the Patuxent, Jack Witchy's. That's a place, man. Google. If anybody out there wants to see some wrestling history, Google Jack Witchy's. It was basically a big barn out in the middle of nowhere in Attleboro, Mass. And Jack Witchy was the promoter for the WWF in New England. And anytime there was a big card at the Boston Garden, at the Rhode Island Auditorium, at the Hartford Arena, the Worcester Spectrum, all these big places in New England, Jack Witchy was the guy who promoted the fights. And he had his own arena. It was from the old days of wrestling. The old ladies were sitting at ringside, you know, drinking sodas and smoking cigars, little place like that, like a smoker. They have boxing matches in there too. It burned down. It was a tragedy. It was a fire. It was a wooden structure. But anyway, whatever big wrestler came to the area, and I'm talking guys back in the day like George the Animal Steel, Bobo Brazil, Haystacks Calhoun, Gorilla Monsoon. All these guys would wrestle at Jack Witchy's first. He'd put these matches on. You'd go there for maybe 5 or 6, maybe not even that. Every seat was a ringside seat, and they put these matches on. And the Witchy family, they put the matches on at the big auditoriums. And I used to sit in the back at some of the clubs they had, like at the Civic Center. They had a place called the Royal Roost. You go up there. It was basically a glorified bar. You could go up there and eat, and you could drink, and you could watch the event. You know, you're up in the last of the seats, but you're high enough where, you know, if it's a wrestling match, you're right there. But anyway, that's where the Witchy family would sit. And I'd hear the grandchildren say, "Grandpa, that's just like it was they did it this afternoon." And I mean, you know, right then and there, you know, this is a guy who's got some pull in the WWE. But anyway, man, you know, yeah, wrestling. I can talk old wrestling. I've got memories. Every once in a while, I'll pull out a wrestling magazine, and you know, wrestling. I've done shows on wrestling. I could continue to do them. And weed, man, all the variations of weed. But anyway, man, I've been on here for an hour. I just wanted to talk about the fights last night, man. Shout out to Don King, bro. The memories of Don King, they were resurrected last night, bro. It's almost like the Grinch was resurrected with the ghosts of Christmas, past, present, and future, bro. And I got the music, and I got Don King in the past. And, you know, last night was present. We had a heavyweight extravaganza. Teach, my brother. Salute to you. And man, you know, the future's upon us, bro. I mean, shit. The future's an amazing thing. I'm looking forward to it, man. This is Bruce Goes, bro. I'm shouting all you people out there, man. If anybody that I missed, man, forgive me. I thank you for coming to see me. And Happy New Year. Peace.